Today on Rappler. The Department of Foreign Affairs summons Chinese Ambassador Wang Xilian over China's sanctions on former Senator Francis Tolentino. Senator Zubiri says opposition Senator Hontiveros is most welcome to join the Senate minority bloc. U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meet at the White House to yet again discuss a ceasefire with Hamas. Pope Leo XIV appoints a new leader of the Vatican's Commission on Clergy Sexual Abuse. And Hoshi and Woozi of K-pop group 17 are set to begin their mandatory military service in September. The Foreign Affairs Department summoned Chinese Ambassador Wang Xilian on Friday, July 4. This, days after China imposed sanctions on former Senator Francis Tolentino, an ally of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Palace spokesperson Claire Castro confirms this on Tuesday, July 8. Beijing announced on July 1 that Tolentino will be barred from entering Chinese mainland, Hong Kong, and Macau, citing supposed egregious conduct on China-related issues.
Nakuha na po natin ang tugon ni Secretary of Foreign Affairs Maria Teresa P. Lazaro. The DFA conveyed to the Chinese side that while the imposition of such sanctions falls within China's legal prerogative, the imposition of punitive measures against democratically elected officials for their official acts is inconsistent with the norms of mutual respect and dialogue that underpin relations between two equal sovereign states.
In the letter read by Castro, the DFA pointed out that inquiring into matters of national interest is part of a senator's mandate. It also reminded the Chinese ambassador that as a democracy, the Philippines values freedom of expression. Tolentino was the chairman of the Senate Special Committee on Philippine Maritime and Admiralty Zones. In April, Tolentino accused the Chinese embassy in the Philippines of tapping a marketing firm to propagate a pro-Beijing message. His committee led the passage of the Philippine Maritime Zones and Archipelagic Sea Lanes Acts, which codified the 2016 Arbitral Award on the South China Sea. Tolentino presented a tough stance on China in the elections last May, but failed to win another term at the Senate. Senator Zubiri says opposition Senator Hontiveros will be most welcome to join the Senate minority bloc of the 20th Congress. This if her allies Senators Kiko Pangilinan and Bam Aquino decide to join the majority.
Sabi niya gagawa siya ng sarili niyang bloke na independent block. Yan. Ay ngayon mag-isa na lang siya. I heard na mag-isa na lang siya. I cannot confirm nor deny this.
Zubiri's statements seem to refer to reports that Aquino and Pangilinan plan to join the Senate majority, aligned with current Senate President Cheese Escudero. When asked if the planned minority bloc would be willing to adopt Hontiveros,
she's most welcome to join us when it comes to abuse of authority. Dapat sama-sama kami na tumayo. We welcome her to join us.
Rappler has reached out to Hontiveros, but she has yet to respond. There is talk of incoming Senator Tito Soto planning to challenge Escudero for the Senate presidency. However, Zubiri says Soto may not have enough numbers, and his bloc may end up constituting the minority. Soto ran and won under the Marcos administration ticket in elections last May. Escudero has been perceived as an opponent of the administration because of the way he's been handling the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte. U.S. President Donald Trump hosts Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House amid efforts to end violence among Israel, Hamas, and Iran. The White House meeting came as Israeli officials held indirect negotiations with Hamas for a U.S.-brokered ceasefire and the release of hostages. Netanyahu said he and Trump are looking into relocating Palestinians out of Gaza to neighboring nations to give them a, quote, better future. Trump, who proposed relocating Palestinians and taking over the Gaza Strip earlier this year, said countries around Israel are cooperating with him. Gazans criticized the proposal and vowed to never leave their homes in the coastal enclave. This is the third meeting between the two leaders since Trump took office in January, and 2 weeks since Trump ordered the bombing of Iran's nuclear sites. Meantime, the Trump administration will be meeting with Iran in the next week or so. Trump says he would like to lift sanctions on Iran at some point. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said on Monday that he believed Iran could resolve its differences with the United States through dialogue. Pope Leo XIV appoints a French archbishop as the new leader of the Vatican's Commission on Clergy Abuse. This is his first public move to confront an issue that damaged the church's credibility. Leo appointed Thibaut Verny on Saturday, July 5, as the president of the Pontifical Commission for the Protection of Minors. The commission was created in 2014 by the late Pope Francis in response to sexual abuse scandals that affected the church in countries across the world. The scandals have damaged the church's standing as a moral voice, triggered costly lawsuits, and led to several bishops resigning. Verny says in a statement that they will promote the equitable sharing of resources so that all parts of the church can uphold the highest standards of protection. He will replace Cardinal Sean O'Malley, who led the group since it was created. Members of the popular K-pop group 17, Hoshi and Woozi, are set to begin their mandatory military service in September. Pledis Entertainment announces Tuesday, July 8, Woozi, producer and leader of the vocal unit, will start his service on September 15. Performance unit leader Hoshi will follow a day later on September 16. Pledis says the two will still hold several performances of Hoshi x Woozi fan concert Warning. While they're away, pre-recorded content from the two will fill the gaps in the group shows. Hoshi and Woozi released a subunit album titled Beam last March.
Just like this, just like this, just like this.
Other members of the group have enlisted before, vocalist Jong Han in September 2024 and rapper Wonwoo in April this year. And that's today's wrap. I'm Kara Oliver. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.